It is the beginning of the end for the worldwide literary and silver screen phenomenon known as Harry Potter. Hello there everyone, I'm Nick Yacobucci, this is RealScreenReviews.com, and our next movie review is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. The latest installment of the hugely popular franchise opened worldwide on Friday, November 19, 2010, and it of course reunites the talents of Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and the upcoming Part 2 next July both come to us from director David Yates, director of the two previous Harry Potter films and the wonderful British film The Girl in the Cafe. This time around, our lead characters are on the road searching for Horcruxes and doing battle with pretty much everyone that they encounter. Well, first off, with the mention of Horcruxes, the biggest point of this movie is that it assumes that you have seen the other 6 chapters that have preceded this. Because if you have not, this is just pointless to even try and catch up with this adventure. Deathly Hallows Part 1 picks up as the others do, and that would be at the start of another year of going to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. But this time there will be no classes. There will be battles this time and lives lost. Instead of school, our 3 leads find themselves in search of Horcruxes, as I said before. Now let me see if I can get this right. Horcruxes are the 7 parts that Lord Voldemort has divided his soul into, and if our heroes can successfully destroy each part, they will also effectively destroy the Dark Lord as well. Also essential to this Harry Potter adventure is the tale of the 3 brothers involved in the story of the Deathly Hallows. There were 3 knights that tricked Death, or the Grim Reaper, and because of this they were able to then bargain with the Reaper to have him supply the brothers with 1 request for each of them. 1 desired a cloak of invisibility, 1 wanted the most powerful wand, and the last preferred a stone in which to raise souls that have passed on. Now it is Voldemort's intention to get his hand on this wand of power and use it to rid himself of the boy who lived. We then learn that this wand is in the possession of Albus Dumbledore, and even his resting place of burial is not safe from the likes of Lord Voldemort and his undying attempt to rule humanity. Deathly Hallows Part 1 is the most serious story in a franchise that has only gotten more serious as it has progressed. The Ministry of Magic has completely fallen, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione are just thrown into this. The events they need to endure soon pit them against each other, and you soon realize why the movie's catchphrase has been labeled "Nowhere is safe." Outside of a wedding and a few laughs, this film leaves almost no room for anything but solemn drama worthy of its hype. Well, people, everyone always seems to mention that the actors have matured and that we have all watched them grow up on screen. Well, that's very true, but what we have also seen grow and mature are these amazingly entertaining stories that they encompass. However, what is the motor that drives the story? And that would be the same thing that separated Buffy the Vampire Slayer from average TV shows and propelled it above the rest. The fact that even though the villains are colorful and over the top, you really care for these teenagers, and even more importantly, you care what they stand for. Also gone is the confinement of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. For a completely different feel from the rest of the franchise, the story is told within the backdrop of grand sweeping landscapes. Instead of dungeon-looking rooms, we now have an open journey taking us across the land of magical creatures and spells. This actually had kind of a Lord of the Rings feel to it with this endless voyage cross-country, and even more so when you add the fact that they wear this necklace and it makes them evil, and the need to fight off distrust between them. Another easy comparison for me with the discussion of purebloods and half-bloods is the Nazi rule of World War II and the desire for a soul and master race. Once again, not a children's story. Now, on a lighter note, I just have to compliment Rupert Grint returning as Ron Weasley. Just as similar as Ron being overshadowed by Harry, the same could be said for Rupert and Daniel Radcliffe. However, he has brought nothing short than a tidal wave of emotion and welcome laughs to a series that would have suffered 100% without his presence. And I also believe that American audiences sometimes don't realize the talent that has come together to make these films so credible. Some of the most gifted and professional British thespians make up even the smallest role in the world of Harry Potter. Imelda Staunton, David Thewlis, Miranda Richardson, Alan Rickman, John Hurt, and of course Ralph Fiennes as he who must not be named Lord Voldemort. These are all Academy Award caliber performers, and they bring that level to this adventure. Well, people, the only issue that I did have with Deathly Hallows Part 1 was an issue that I knew that I was going to have going in. And that would be that right in the middle, it just abruptly ends this fantastic tale. Exactly like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, when it comes to a close, you would rather just keep on watching. And like The Empire Strikes Back, our heroes are not in the greatest situation as we stand right now, and we haven't seen anything yet. The battle for Hogwarts, Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and what's in store for them is all yet to come. There's also Professor Snape, Lord Voldemort, and the final conflict between good and evil. This is a great film adventure and a perfect setup to finish off what has become one of the most popular characters of all time. I just can't wait for July for the second and final part. 3 1/2 stars out of 4. And remember, people, I'm not always right, only when it comes to the movies. And thank you for your attention.